Welcome to our Avengers Endgame spoiler
It's
video.
not the podcast!
Yeah, it's not the podcast.
Wow.
I'm just going to clap for
Take
this.
two.
This movie deserves a clap.
Definitely.
Did you not like it?
No,
Okay.
you
better clap.
Yeah. Not
So
even a
I
golf
actually,
clap. Gosh.
I don't know where to start with this video.
I know where to start with this. Thor's a fat sack of garbage now.
Yes!
I know.
Thank you!
So angry.
I know. They totally
He was the worst
destroyed
part of that movie. He was so good in the last one, and in this one, he was the worst part of that movie.
Oh man, so like, here's the thing. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was like, you know that the only way that got put in the script is that Chris Hemsworth went up to the writers and said, you know what would be funny?
Except it wasn't funny!
He's like 80 pounds.
Yeah, just straight in the stomach, and I don't have to be like the most jacked, attractive, human being on the face of the
honestly,
planet.
though, here's the thing. I haven't seen set photos. I have no idea. I don't think he actually gained all that weight.
It didn't look
Oh,
real.
absolutely not.
No, it didn't look real.
I think he still looks absolutely.
You know how I know?
Yeah.
Because I still get the YouTube apps for the Chris Hemsworth workout track, you know?
What?
There's an app.
What?
That,
Anyways,
Like you
yeah,
work out.
he
All
had-
my
he
YouTube
was-
apps,
Yeah.
all my YouTube
So-
apps are always like.
So hold up, he
Yeah,
was
for you.
fat. He had hair, and then he went to Asgard and didn't think no one was gonna notice. It's not him. It's not a different
Hey, his
Thor.
mom's a real one though. 'Cause
She
only-
noticed right away.
Only a mother would be like, "You don't look disgusting."
So my son does not.
Also,
Does
I
not-
love-
What is
What
Fortnite?
is this?
That's like there's the lowest,
Hey.
literally the marker of like you're in the bottom of the barrel of our society. They put Thor doing that crap.
I love.
Also, I'm mad because they didn't either play Apex, which is clearly right now the
Yes.
most popular.
Well, they filmed
of
this
the,
jump before Apex came out. For
Yeah.
sure.
True.
But like,
It's
they
the
could
most-
have edited that. Jump,
It's the most.
fixed it in
It's the
post.
most popular. What do you call it? Not Sandbox.
Royale.
Battle Royale game out, or PUBG, which is clearly better than Fortnite in my opinion.
Okay. PUBG, too deep a cut.
I just love the visual
Let it be known.
of Thor talking to his mom, and then Rocket just running into the room while being chased by guards, yelling, "I got it!
see-
Get out!"
Here's my thing with this movie. There's
Time
like
to
a lot of
leave.
stuff that I liked, but then there was like weird choices, you know?
Like the America's butt joke. That was the dumbest joke.
I love that. Are you
I
serious?
hated that joke.
That's just America's
You
butt.
see, I didn't.
That was awesome. I love
hate
that.
That's my thing. I thought a lot of the comedy in this movie is like the laugh the first time you see it sort of jokes, and then like when you're watching it again, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah, so a lot of the comedy in this movie was throwback to other movies, though. Like even the cheeseburger comment at the end
I
of the
didn't
movie.
get that.
Well, that was
That's from Iron Man
Yeah,
1.
in Iron Man when he came out, like Happy picks him up. He goes, "What do you want to do?" He goes,
yeah, and he's like, I
I
want a
want,
cheese.
I want
I
two
want a
things.
cheeseburger.
I want two things. I want an American cheeseburger.
Yeah, and so like all the comedy
I
was
call
like
press
throwbacks
conference.
to other movies.
But you see, I feel like that type of
Hey,
comedy only works like.
What we're talking about.
Also, that's the
movies.
director, by the way. Happy.
So while we're talking about throwbacks to other movies, the deepest cut in the history of cinema is that spoilers for this movie. That's
Of course,
the purpose
yeah,
of this
if
discussion.
you don't know.
Your boy Iron Man hits him with the
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
Iron Man, and then he perishes from this mortal coil after his
I
face
know.
gets burnt off.
Bro.
And then they'd be at his funeral, and they'd be slow panning across everybody, and you'd be feeling sad. You'd be like, "There's Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch ain't here, Scarlett Johansson ain't here because she's dead also, rip." But like, oh, there's a so and so. There's Happy. There's Tony Stark's kid. Who's this teenage boy?
Yeah, who the heck was the teenage
Yeah.
And
boy?
then Josh leans up and he goes, "That's the kid from Iron Man 3." I'm like, who remembers the kid
Yeah.
from Iron Man 3?
Wait, what? Who?
Okay. So,
Oh, the kid from Iron Man 3
do you remember
in the
when
garage.
Iron Man lands in a shack?
Oh, yeah.
How'd they find that Joker? Who even knew he existed? Was Tony like, hey,
Did Tony even ask his name when
No!
they were together?
he's
Yeah.
the kid
I'll
from
be-
Iron Man 3 is his
I'll be
name.
honest, I
Yeah.
don't remember anything about Iron Man 3 because
I
Iron Man
totally
3 is
forgot
the
about
worst
that.
movie of all
Yes.
of them.
No.
So like, what?
No. Thor: The Dark World.
No, absolutely
Thor
not.
Dark-
Thor: The Dark World.
We're not talking.
It's
We'll have a different video where we talk about this. We're talking about Endgame
So
right
here's
now.
the thing: is I'm wondering at what point was Tony like Tony and Pepper and like toddler Tony are like sitting there around the table
Morgan.
eating like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Tony's like, "Pepper, did I ever tell you about the kid from Iron Man 3?" And Pepper's like, "Who?" And Tony's like, "I don't know his name, but when I crash landed in like Russia or somewhere,
It was Kentucky.
basically Russia. The kid helped me drag my suit and at one point I forget what else the kid did. I haven't seen Iron
Did he
Man 3
like
in a minute.
restart his heart?
Something. And he's
like
like,
No,
so.
he had a panic attack,
Okay.
and he was
So
like,
Pepper, if
he
I
talked
ever
him through
so
it,
so
essentially.
Pepper, just so you know, if I ever harness the forces of creation and die, killing a purple spaceman and saving our planet, I need you to invite him to my funeral. And Pepper's like, "What's his name?" And Tony's like, "The kid from Iron Man 3."
Also, hold up. The one you know how everyone's gonna go back and look through all the plot holes of this movie. The biggest plot
right.
hole of
Was
this
there one?
movie in this entire movie. Captain America goes back and marries Peggy. So we're not going to mention the fact that girl he kisses in Civil War, that's incest, because that was technically Peggy's...
It was Peggy's niece.
Okay,
Also,
that's still incest, though.
Yeah, it's Peggy's niece. Also, she, in that, if you were trying to go there, she mentioned that she married another guy.
Exactly.
In the movies.
So
this is resetting.
But he made a new timeline when he went back in time. Time travel is wonky like that. So that niece didn't necessarily exist.
But isn't that the point of why
he
he went back there, to like prevent making new timelines?
Yes.
I wondered.
Listen, he needed his moment.
I wondered.
Right?
So we don't.
He needed that
the thing
dance.
is, we don't know how much
in.
we don't know how much he like
Messed
changed
up,
as
too.
well. Like we don't know if he like married her or like
Also,
He
Thor's,
killed Hitler.
anything like that. Just
also
straight up killed
Thor's
Hitler.
hammer is just sitting somewhere now.
No, he
in
put it
time.
back
Did he put it back?
Where?
in the Dark World, I assume, where they got the Power Stone from.
I was gonna say because
Right?
that
Yes,
Joker.
probably on the ship.
The Reality Stone. Which one's the red one?
Red one is
The ether.
reality stone. Yeah, the
Yeah.
ether. Also, so
Oh yeah, no, I guess he did go back there, so he would just put the hammer back.
that was the
Yeah.
one. That was the one plot hole that I thought.
Because
of,
otherwise,
was
that timeline would be
uh,
like legit screwed because they'd have a Thor with no hammer in it.
Thor was just like Bip, and I'm taking this, and I'm like, wait a second, like the actual like
Actual
buff,
Thor is
buff
like,
Thor is like
no,
Where's
that's
my
mine.
hammer?
he's with what's his face in the helmet down in like Hades, like getting ready to.
Yeah, with
He's getting ready to
Yeah.
like destroy the dude.
And
Like,
he's
Hey,
like,
now.
he's like, remember with his hands behind his back, he's like, it takes a minute, and it's like, it's never gonna come now because
Oh, he brought it back.
Okay,
That's
because
why
Fat
it's important
Thor,
that he brought
Fat
it
Thor
back.
has it.
My big gripe with the movie is there's so many characters in Marvel, and they put a lot of importance on people who deserve it. There's one.
They didn't though.
Oh,
That deserves
Sorry.
to die, or
why is Mantis in the final battle?
Best plot hole in the whole movie is when your little Spider Boy hands off the broken Infinity Gauntlet to Captain Marvel, and she's like, "I got this," and Spider Boy's like, "But how are you gonna get through all those bad guys?" And then Scarlet Witch is like, "She'll have help," and every single female in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe
I actually like
jumps
that scene.
out of a hole and is like, "We're gonna help," and then Mantis shows up and is like, "Damn it!"
So here's the thing. So
I actually like that scene.
we talked a lot about equality in like my several of my journalism classes, and I'm like, I can appreciate Marvel because they have had like a lot of equality stuff like go on. That's like the whole basis of Black Panther was and stuff. But like they did it in a way that was like kind of
Understated.
It was like it was
Understated.
it was
Well,
it was like incognito.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
you were-
what?
They sold Black Panther on that.
The trailer for Black Panther was like, this movie is by and for black people.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Exactly.
but it wasn't.
Like,
There was two white people in it. It was Ulysses Claw
So-
and
and one of them
Martin
was
Freeman's
like
character.
garbage.
No, but when they sold that movie, it was
Yeah.
like, this movie is about an African country, so there's going to be African people. It's not like
Right.
this movie's about black people, suck it, white people. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what they sold.
But I don't think you can sell a movie like
so
that.
we're
also-
getting
I
lost
bet
in the
you
weeds
could.
here.
So-
Why was Mantis at the fight at all?
So-
She has no combat abilities whatsoever.
But I thought that scene was like on the nose. I was like,
I
they
did.
they
It was-
clearly
it was
went
also-
all females.
it-
I appreciate equality as
So
the next
here's the
person, but
thing: is
was
it
like-
calls back to in the original Avengers in 2012 when they like do the pan and like Hulk roars and Thor like flips his hammer and catches it and Iron Man's like pew pew and Black Widow like loads a gun and is like, I have a gun. It's
Yeah.
like reminiscent of that where it's like all the team and it's like they all team up and then like the Captain Marvel's like puts it into a football grasp, goes supernova, and like lasers through every bad guy, and it's like they didn't even help at all.
Yeah, so
also,
they
there's
did
no
not
point
use-
in them
they
like
did-
teaming up.
Also,
not
I
Like,
love
I got a
how
spear.
I love how
You're Superman.
I love how in this movie Ant-Man played more of a role in saving the world than
Ant-Man's my
Captain
freaking
Marvel.
guy.
Captain
He's
Marvel
such a
played
dude.
0% in saving the world at all. She brought Tony Stark to the planet and then left until the
she
final
killed that
battle.
spaceship.
Also, she destroyed him the first time, destroyed Thanos when
Yeah,
they
she
when
did.
they
She
met him.
killed Thanos the first
That
time.
junk was
No,
awesome.
Thor did.
So
But Thanos was like,
like when Nick and I went and saw that, like it's what's that like in maybe the opening 20 minutes? That
But also
like,
Thanos
they're
was-
like,
she's like,
we're
she's
going.
like giving him the freaking business.
Yeah.
Like throws him.
We're going to the garden, and that's it. And they get there, they make it happen, and it's like.
But to be
I
fair,
look
though,
at Nick, and I'm like, that
joke
was fast.
That
Like,
joke that Thanos like broke one of his arms. That joke was just
He
like.
was like
fine.
a-
Also,
he was,
I did
he was
not-
eating space avocados. Like he was retired. He wasn't doing nothing.
I did
like,
not
any of
need-
the superheroes could have
No
done.
one needed the first scene of that movie. I'm gonna throw that out there right now.
What was the first
Hawkeye's
scene?
family
Oh.
going away.
Oh,
no one
bro.
needed that. No one needed that. We did not need that
joke-
scene.
Also, shout out to Jeremy Renner. You're welcome for the haircut. But like
No,
I made my opinions about the haircut clear.
that scene, I was like, it's the same thing as like when I
because
saw.
you know what's gonna happen.
when you see the end of Ant-Man, like the cutaway scene, and he's like, "Beam me up, Johnny," and like
And
everybody's
they did.
everybody's faded. And you're like, everybody's sitting there going, "We just watched a really happy movie," and then you have that, and then everybody's like, "Oh, that's way too soon."
So I don't want to interrupt your
And
story,
that was, like, the
but I
same
just
thing
want
at
to
the
say
beginning.
my parents like very selectively watch Marvel movies. They basically only watch them in like an attempt to relate to me as a kid.
Right.
And so they skipped
kid.
Infinity War because they're like, this junk's 3 hours long. No, thank you. But then they heard Ant-Man and the Wasp was coming out, and they're like, yeah, that movie's like a tight hour and a half. Yes, please. And they called me at the end, and they were like, what happened at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp? And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, how come like Ant-Man's girlfriend turned to dust? I was like, well, it was because of Infinity War. And they're like, what happened in Infinity War? And I was like, half of all the people turned to dust. And they're like, what?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, everybody got dusted.
Literally.
So there's like a lot of, again, this movie is a good movie.
Fantastic
There's a lot
movie.
of stuff where it just like falls flat for me though. Like
Okay.
it's like a
Thor
mixed bag.
not Thor, Hulk dabbed.
Like Hulk dabbing, Thor playing Fortnite. That's not gonna age well. Like 5 years from now, when I'm watching
If,
this movie, like there wasn't
But
a
like the point
If
of that was
Fortnite
like,
doesn't age well, it won't. I'll
Fortnite
bet.
won't age well though.
Well,
Fortnite's
like-
already now.
'cause
remember the original Avengers? Like the video game they're referencing that is Galaga.
Okay.
And so that's
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to be like an older, not older joke, but like Galaga's like a game like a
That
lot of
man's
age.
playing
But
Galaga.
like, but like the point of the Fortnite joke is not like, oh, he's playing video games. It's specifically like he's sunk so low that he's not even playing. It's not even like he's playing like a normal video game. He's playing Fortnite. It's like that's how low he's sunk. He's threatening like a
Okay.
9-year-old on
Also,
Xbox.
That's
Okay,
why he wasn't
dabbing
playing
then.
PUBG.
Okay.
But and again, I'll say that I think that was intentionally like not actually that cool of a thing to do because like Bruce Banner wasn't cool before he like fused with the Hulk. Like he's never been cool.
Did you
And
guys?
he- but
Did
the
you guys?
kids
He's
like
a freaking dweeb.
the kids wanted a picture with him.
Yeah, 'cause he's a big old green man.
Did
I
you
want
guys
a
like?
picture.
Did you guys like Dad Thor? the fuse. That's literally what it was. It's like with him with glasses and like a sweater or whatever.
Oh, like Big Lebowski Thor?
Yeah, no, not. I'm
Like
sorry, not
Blaze-
Thor. Hulk.
Hulk?
My
Oh,
bad. Dad
Dad
Hulk.
Thor?
I don't know why I said Dad Thor.
Dad Hulk?
Dad Hulk.
He's a dad.
That Joker is a complete
You
dad.
see,
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I don't know if this movie will like age well. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but like I don't know like how it'll age.
So I rank.
I think it'll.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I rank Marvel movies on rewatchability, and this movie does not rank super highly on that scale simply because it is like 17 hours long.
Yeah.
That too.
It's like
So,
4 movies.
It's. I will say it's not as good as Infinity War.
Like I've seen Infinity
I
War
love-
twice, and I don't want to see it again for a hot minute because it's like a hard 3
Right.
hours, and this is also like
So
a hard
good.
3 hours.
Like I'll just watch the battle scene on YouTube.
Yeah.
Except that's a 30-minute video.
Well, so what I will watch though is that scene
That
where
entrance.
Cap's got half a shield and his arm's definitely broken.
And
his
Black
face all
Panther
bloody.
walks
He
through the
got
portal.
stabbed in the leg, and he stands up and he's like, you can tell he's thinking like, I could do this all day, but he's like, I'm not gonna say it because
not
I
gonna say it.
cannot anymore do this all day.
Yeah.
And then the portals start opening, and at first you're like, oh, it's one portal, but then you're like, wait a minute, that was like that was like a wizard portal though. And
Yeah.
then Doctor Strange be showing up, and he's got an army of wizard monks. I was like, yes. This is what I wanted.
Yo,
Yes.
when
Oh.
Black Panther walked out, I was watching it with Matthew, and I looked at him, and we almost just right there just started yelling "E-Bombay" really loudly in the theater. I was like, "Let's go!"
Also,
All 10.
Well, I didn't because I was like, "I'm white," but he's
all 10 of the surviving Asgardians showed up.
Yo,
and
when,
that's how this podcast got shut down.
The one legitimately big plot hole, and I hate to call this out because it was really cool. Where did Valkyrie get a Pegasus? She didn't have a Pegasus
that's
in Thor
from
Ragnarok.
that's from the when she was introduced. She's a Valkyrie.
Yeah, but
Like,
where'd
that's-
she get the Pegasus?
She grew it.
That's no what that she had it.
No,
already.
she
She
didn't.
had it.
That's a
and
good
then,
point.
And then
She
Hela
didn't.
freaking murked it. It was in the scene.
We don't know that.
What? It showed her getting the Pegasus shot out from under her by a spear thing, and then it showed her falling. That was like that whole scene was like, oh, my Pegasus died. And
She never
then
said that.
Ragnarok, she didn't have a Pegasus.
I mean, yeah, because she was concerned of just being drunk and capturing
but I know
people.
in that movie when they were
She
fleeing on
didn't-
the spaceship, she was like, "Yo, come on, get on my spaceship."
She had a spaceship that she could control with her wrists. She don't need a Pegasus.
So then where did she get one? Is there a planet with just a bunch of Pegasus lying around? You can just stop that?
I would not put it past.
Okay. So the next Marvel movie. This is
only-
the direction.
So I need like one of those YouTube spin-off videos where it's her going to a planet and getting a Pegasus with drunk dad Thor.
Okay. So here's what I want from Marvel. I want a return to the weird.
Weird space stuff.
Yes. That Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie. I love Thor Ragnarok
Interesting.
to death. It's my favorite one.
There's a lot more comedy in that one than there was in the.
In
other
the
one.
comedy.
You know what? There's a lot more of in Thor Ragnarok than any other Thor.
Weird
any
space
other movie.
stuff.
Weird space stuff.
And comedy that hits. Comedy that's like, that joke I can watch now and laugh.
I think that
America's butt I cannot watch 3 years
that
in
was that was a great joke. I love that.
I thought
Simply because of how Paul Rudd said it.
I liked when Cap was trying to get the spear, and I was like, "Yo, this joke is about to be like before we get started. Everybody want to get out?" And then
He said,
and
"Hail Hydra."
He like instead of being like, "Let me just beat the snot out of all these random Shield agents," he was like, "Let me do the Galaxy Brain smart play."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, Hail Hydra though." And then the bald guy was like,
He's like, oh,
I
snap.
got you.
Oh,
Except
snap.
now they
Wink.
didn't, because then they
Wink.
sent Captain America after him.
Well, no, I
Cap
thought
just
that
bumped
is just,
into him.
he bumped into him.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because he said on the walkie-talkie, "Yeah, I have Loki." And
Well, okay,
"Yeah, they're looking
so
for Loki." Not
so
Cap.
I want you to imagine, Josh, if you're fighting someone who you know can shapeshift into other people, and you walk into you after someone just says Loki disappeared.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Beat him up?
The most,
Yes.
I said
Shoot
the most,
him in the
the
hands.
most likely thing is that it was Loki.
Yeah.
Wait.
The
In his-
issue
in
there
his
is that
mind.
if
I
it
would-
is Loki, Cap would kind of get worked by Loki, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was
Cap
actually-
would run up and be
I
like,
was
"Yo, I'm gonna hit
actually-
you with my shield."
I was-
Loki
I
would
was-
like magic knives.
He gave
Run
him
away.
hands in the first Avengers. Like they did fisticuffs.
Yeah, and then they have to be saved by Iron Man.
Yeah.
But he also had the spear as well.
Oh yeah, the spear,
was-
the spear changes things a little bit.
I'll be honest, I was scared about not halfway, I don't remember where this line was, but it was either right before the final battle or halfway through the final battle when Thanos says, like, "Thank you, like, I now know what I have to do.
I gotta.
I gotta kill everyone
kill
now."
the whole
I
universe.
was scared because in the comics that's what he actually does.
He
And I was
does
like,
it,
"No,
yeah.
please, no, don't do it." I thought that movie
Hey,
was gonna end
well,
with him
you
snapping
gotta-
his fingers.
You
and
gotta throw the whole
everyone died.
universe away and pick up a new one.
Yeah.
I say for those that
Well,
don't
it could've
know,
been the
like
ultimate.
in the comic
Yeah.
books, that Joker gets it all again, snaps,
it,
destroys everything in
everything.
existence,
Yeah.
and then is like, "Well, that was stupid,"
And
like,
then brings it
and
back.
then brings everything back. And it's like, if Marvel does that to end this entire like series, it would have been so bad.
I was scared though when he said that. I was like, "No, please don't do it."
I
Thanos."
am inevitable.
I said that gauntlet better not touch Thanos' hand.
So, weird space stuff.
Yeah.
Or Korg and Meeks.
So,
Living in
so
Earth.
here's my issue, right? They've talked about a couple of the like Marvel TV shows they're making. I heard they're doing a Loki one, which kind of makes sense because Loki escapes with the Space Stone in that alternate timeline. So there's an alternate timeline where Loki has one of the Infinity Stones and nowhere to be, and everybody thinks he's like dead or missing. So like
Right.
that
Weird
Joker,
space
that
stuff.
Joker can get up to some weird space stuff.
Okay.
And then they also approved. I heard
WandaVision.
the WandaVision, which is like I assume like Friends, but with just two friends.
Well,
And
he's dead.
but they
Well,
do it
no,
in the
they're
past.
doing it in the past.
They do it in like that period of time when they just be like hanging out in Ireland, like I don't know.
Wait, what is this?
Doing it
Wanda
in the
and
hotel
Vision?
room.
The Disney original shows
Yeah.
that they're doing.
So I'm like, I could watch a TV show about a robot and a witch just like hanging out in a hotel room, or I could watch a TV show about a weird grub man with scissors for arms and a rock man doing weird space stuff.
That's the show I want to watch.
Also, we're not going to talk about Captain America wielding the hammer.
That joke was awesome.
Oh, I
Get it,
actually,
bro.
That joke
I
was.
approve.
So here's,
I liked it.
I was
So-
like, yeah, that's cool. And then I was like, he got really worthy really quick in like 2 years or 5 years.
Wait, like 8 between
Age
Age
of
of
Ultron.
Ultron and that.
Like,
Which
how do you grow
I
in
think-
worthiness?
Well,
I
okay, so
think-
if you remember in Thor 1, he loses his worthiness. The thing gets put on the hammer to him where he can't pick it up, but he regains his worthiness when his father sees that he actually cares about other people now. And when you see
You prove it by
Cap's
being
always cared about.
Well,
So here's
no.
what I think.
No, I think he does care about people, but in Civil War, his pride shows up. He cares more about
Himself and Bucky.
himself and Bucky than other people. And in Infinity War, when
That
they
Joker was straight up ready to be killed for the human race.
when they
Yes.
when they lose in Infinity War, he realizes he's not as important. Then Thanos gives him the hands, and
Buck's gone.
and his shield breaks, and he does that thing where he's sitting on the ground. And he has to do that like last push up of justice in this last movie, and I think that's when he gains his worthiness.
So I have a different theory. I think that Joker's always been worthy. And he was sitting there, he was pulling the hammer, and he felt it starting to move a little bit. He was like, yo, I can totally finesse my man Thor. And then he was like, do I really need to do it to my guy like that? And then he looked at the shield, and he was like, I have my shield already. When would I ever need a shield and a hammer? And then he's like, nah. And then he was fighting Thanos. He was like, I need a hammer.
All right.
Said, yeet, give me that.
Final question to wrap up. You're one of the people left behind after Thanos snaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do? I think I just loot. Like, there's so many, like...
I'm stealing a
They
lot
were
of things.
like they talked about how
I'm
like
gonna be straight up.
there were entire like nations that were in disarray because of like how many
Yeah, I go there and
people
I
in
steal
power
the valuable things.
are lost. And it's like
So,
it's
here's
crazy
the
to
thing.
think
Like,
about.
I go to
Are we
Russia
ta-
and steal all the
Are we
jewels.
talking about,
I'd
like-
probably go more Hawkeye than loot. I'd probably
Yeah.
like go off the deep end a little bit because statistically half of the people I care about are dead.
So here's the deal. I was like,
So,
people
and
were
the
like,
other half, you form a gang and start looting.
So I break into the Avengers thing and I steal one of their little spacey ship things and I go and I just like show up to space like I show up to space honestly with a handle in one hand and like whatever space gun I found in the other and I'm just ready to fight any alien I
Also,
see.
free Peter Quill.
I meet
I
a
saw him
random
pop
Kree
up.
man, and I'm like, "You killed half our people." And he's like, "I didn't," and I'm like, "I don't care."
that was the one thing I think that this movie did not do as well as
Redeemed Peter Quill.
well, no, it didn't
Joker
do.
didn't do
Also,
anything.
It didn't do as well as Infinity War. Is that in Infinity War, everybody had a story and everybody had like
And-
lines
and in
and
this-
stuff.
in
In this
this,
one, it was just Captain
Nebula,
America. It
Cap,
was
and
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man.
Also,
stories.
I
Yeah.
love how we watched this movie and I still don't fully understand what the heck Doctor Strange's plan was.
Can we talk about the thing that I think is like most swept under the rug about this movie that I didn't realize until I was talking to Josh about it on the drive home? Is that Gamora is briefly there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like not feeling Peter Quill at all, even though he's like
Yeah, and then she
feeling her,
leaves.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I think she got snapped. I think that Tony Stark snapped her.
Wait, he snapped who?
Gamora.
Because she wasn't at the funeral
She
and she's
wasn't
not
at
on
the
the
funeral.
ship.
She didn't fly into space with Rocket. She wasn't anywhere else.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
what he was
that
saying.
His snap
Joker Tony was like, "I'm gonna kill everybody," and as he was dying, he was like, "Wait, Gamora though? Oh well."
I say
Well,
she,
no, he
wasn't,
could've
she, wasn't
snapped-
on, she wasn't on the ship with
No,
Guardians of the
she
Galaxy.
no.
He could have snapped and been like, hey, everything from 2014 that's in the current timeline
Yeah,
died.
kill all the stuff that shut up with Thanos. He's like, oh, did I kill Peter's girlfriend a second time?
Well, he
Well, I don't
wouldn't know
remember.
Gamora.
He wouldn't have known Gamora.
No, he did because he. Oh
he did.
no! Well, he hung out with the Guardians in Infinity War.
Okay, it's cool.
But-
They mention her, but he doesn't know her.
Oh yeah, she'd already been kidnapped.
Yeah,
at that
she'd been
point.
thrown
Yeah,
off the
so
rock.
She'd already
cool.
been-
Peter
yeah, she'd
Quill.
already been ganked,
Cool. Peter
actually.
Quill mentions, "Hey, I had a girlfriend. Thanos stole her," and then
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He doesn't see.
He
so,
snapped Peter's girlfriend.
So he wouldn't have seen.
Oh,
he wouldn't have known what she looks
no!
like, and I don't think he interacted with her after, or anyone told her that she showed up after the battle started. So he wouldn't have known that she would have been there. So when he says just get everyone on Thanos' team, it all depends on if she sees herself on Thanos' team or not.
So I can't remember if Peter was at Tony's funeral or not.
He was. They had the whole guard.
But if he was, I wonder if he like had an attitude.
I think he's searching. I think he thinks she like just disappeared in the.
She got snapped.
No. Like,
Well, he also
like, ran away.
knows that that's not actually like his Gamora.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
hate
as well.
Gamora.
Anyway.
Both
It is-
Gamoras
it is-
hated him at
it's
first.
Hey Gamora.
He can
You
turn
you know what
around.
this movie is missing?
weird space
No.
stuff.
Return of the Jedi. In the end of the film.
Oh wait.
Josh, I will
No.
literally destroy you on film
No.
if you
Stop.
utter those words.
Stop. No,
No,
absolutely not.
no.
None of
Just like a
this.
celebration.
Don't
No.
say it.
No,
A
stop.
celebration scene, like
the
where you see the
celebration was-
world joyful.
You know you're right.
They did have that.
No.
when
No,
when Black Panther was like sitting on his like balcony, and you saw the whole city, and everyone's throwing fireworks out, and then you see Ant-Man and
But
his
it's
girlfriend.
still sad
and the girl,
because it's
they're like-
Iron Man talking about I died.
Yeah, but they're all celebrating.
No,
So I think
you
what
need a
Josh is
song.
saying. I think what Josh is saying is that
They need
the
more
biggest jerk
bears.
with the largest head in the entire universe was finally killed, and we should have celebrated slightly more than we did. And we were really sad about it. But honestly, it was kind of hyped though that he finally bit it.
I say we should have played "We Are the Champions."
We should have
And,
been like, what you say? Party time!
Yeah.
Perhaps a song. So touching.
Josh, don't say it. I'm gonna change the subject again before Josh gets back on.
Yup, no!
no,
No!
no.
Hey, Peter, more just random things
Why?
that I noticed about this movie. Peter Parker was awful quick to activate instant kill mode and had surprisingly little remorse for the dozens of lives he took in that battle.
That joke was awesome.
I've never said instant kill. He's like, that's like dozens of. Like, I can hear pumped up kicks playing in the background. He's just running and people are dying
So,
all
like,
around him. He's like, I murdered
With
so many
whatever
people.
they're called, the weird turtle people.
The Kree?
No, not
Or
the
not the Kree,
the
the
little dog people that
the dog
no,
ones?
not the dog ones. The
No,
ones
the,
from the original Avengers.
Oh, what are they called? The Chitauri.
Chitauri.
Yeah,
Okay.
the ones that take off the mask and they're like, yeah.
So they have like a hive mind,
Yeah.
but they also like have sentience, right?
I think their hive mind is connected to the space whales, but I don't know.
Yo, hey, that junk was
so,
tough.
like,
when
do they
Ant-Man
have souls?
Punched one of those junks and took
Yes.
it down.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
junk was
in the
awesome.
same way that a dog has a soul.
So again,
Or
there's
even like
like
the-
no
even
remorse.
the
None of the
ravenous-
heroes are like.
Even the ravenous
Also,
space dogs.
I love how
there's-
Steve and I are over here like, yeah, that scene when Ant-Man punched the space whale was tough. And you're all over here going, we need more nubs, more celebrations, Ewoks!
No!
I was like-
I'm specifically overtly opposed to the Yum Nub movement.
Look, tell me what's wrong with a happy scene of just.
They
of
had
just-
That's
one.
not what it. Yeah, I say that. Also, that's not what the ending of this movie was at all.
They
It
had
was,
a happy scene.
You know what this was? I've told people this. This is the Avengers
send-off.
version of Logan. That's exactly what
It's
this
the
is.
send-off for
So
the
here's the
Avengers.
question, right?
It's
Here's-
exactly what that is.
So here's a good thing for us to
So
like
they're
close
gonna
out our...
unnecessarily make a Dark Phoenix movie about it.
Oh.
Let's not talk about
I'm
that
looking forward to
one.
that.
I can't-
guys.
I
It
am
looks
looking-
bad.
I
We're
am-
not talking
I am
about
looking
it.
forward to
It looks
that.
bad. We're not talking about it.
It's a great
I'll
story.
give it-
So
I'll
here's
give
the
it a
question,
watch.
right?
I'll give it a watch.
There's no after credit scene because this is like a bookend of the series. But they did have that.
It's
hammer.
Iron Man. Matt and I talked about this. It's 100% Iron Man hammering his original armor in the cave.
Yeah.
So why would they?
I don't know why they would
Yeah,
put it there,
callback, yeah.
but I thought about it. I said, this is what the sound is. And on the way home in the car, Matt pulled up that scene in the movie and played it. It's the same exact sound.
Wait,
I mean,
when did they
if
play
I-
that?
At the end credits,
Still
instead of
does.
an
End
end
credits,
credit
as the
scene,
Marvel logo
as
pops
the
up,
Marvel
there's
logo
like the
pops up,
hammer
you
sound.
hear a
Yeah,
hammering
it's
of
just
metal.
like the first sound you hear in the beginning of the Marvel series. That plays over the credits.
No. They don't play that sound over the credits. It's a throwback sound to Iron Man hammering his original armor.
Yeah, it's a bookend.
Or
I don't know why they put
hear
it
me
there.
out. It was the teenager from Iron Man 3 making his Iron Man armor.
We have
Iron
an Iron
Man
Man.
Listen,
4,
I'm-
random
Hey,
teenager
so-
from Iron
so
Man 3
what-
the movie.
What we nightmared is now true
Yes,
as well.
I told that to Matt too.
We're in
Congratulations, Marvel. You've very successfully, very tastefully, and like I didn't care about Tony
Tricked us
Stark.
into making
Now I
Don
did.
Cheadle Iron
Now
Man.
we have Don Cheadle Iron Man movies, and I'm
Sorry,
sad.
Don
No,
Cheadle,
no,
but
hey,
no.
Pepper
Well,
Potts.
we're ranting about
So
things.
it's either Don Cheadle or Gwyneth Paltrow.
No.
Here's what
Definitely
we're
not.
really mad about. Bucky and Falcon standing next to each other. You're holding a shield. Who do I give the shield to? The literal super soldier or the man whose whole power is that he can fly? And it's like, let's give the man whose whole power is that he can fly
Yeah,
a shield
yeah.
so he can't fly straight. Let's ruin his only thing that he has
Which
going
is
for him.
not what happens in the comics.
That
at all.
Joker doesn't know how to
So-
build a shield.
So
Current-
it goes
current
to
timeline,
Bucky.
yeah.
It goes to Bucky and then Falcon. I'm actually okay with it. Like I like
No.
both
They
those
should've gone to
characters.
Bucky. I'm not okay
Bucky's
with
a
it at all.
superhuman.
I like both those
What
characters.
Stems
though.
a regular human. Also, Bucky's got a metal arm. You know what else is metal? The shield. You could conveniently put a magnet on the back of that bad boy and just stick it on.
No. Okay, first off, Bucky's power is I have metal arm and gun.
And gun.
So like,
Yes.
here's the thing though. In an event,
And cool knife fight. We saw
in a
saw
Captain
Winter
America, that's
Soldier.
the one I'm looking for. In a Captain America movie, it doesn't really matter who has the shield because both of them are going to be in it.
I guess
You're not going to get a Captain America movie without both of them in it.
Bucky's cooler. And
Okay.
he's better
There's
at
much-
fighting.
So anyway, the next
Yeah.
movie is Spider-Man.
And I think that Falcon will look stupid
excited.
with the wings and the shield. And I'm afraid he's going to take his cool thing, which is the wings, and take them off so he wears the shield, which is less cool.
I'm excited and scared for that as well. Because
Spider-Man?
Yes,
It's
because
supposed to be Mysterio, isn't it?
yes. So the thing is in the comic books. I think I was talking to you about this.
Yeah.
The thing in comic books is that this we have another chance for another Iron Man 3, which kind of scares me because this is legit. So Mysterio in the comic books doesn't have superpowers, right? He's a movie set stuntman and visual effects master, and so he's just good at illusion. And so what I'm terrified of is that
They
You
do
know,
the same plot twist.
Yeah, so they do the same thing where like it's this guy who shows up and he's like, new superhero on the block, which is what happens in the comic books. And then Spider-Man is like, wait a second. And then exposes him on camera as a fake. And then Mysterio's like, I can't believe that a superhero would expose me. And I'm going to be a villain to get back at him. And I'm like, if they do that and it's like how we saw in the trailer, like Mysterio's like holding back like this elemental,
And
you
it's
know,
like
Magic the
it's like a
Gathering
projector thing.
and all of a sudden it's just fake, and it's like, I was just being an actor and trying to give people hope. I'm gonna like lose my mind.
You know what would be a much more interesting plot twist to me, since everybody expects that, is that joke is like, he's probably not a wizard. And then Mysterio's like, freak you, I am a wizard. Actual magic. And then he's got to call his
I don't
buddy,
think it's gotta be
his
that.
good friend, Stephen Strange.
Yeah, speaking of wizards,
I don't like Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is
speaking
best!
of wizards, what was his plan? How is this the only? Yeah, how is it the only?
It
way?
wasn't a plan. He was just looking at ways
Yeah,
that it
but
could
how
go.
is this the only way that
It
you
was the
beat
only
Thanos?
way that Thanos gets all 6 stones, and that they are able
And then they get all 6
and
stones.
that they all get all 6. Yeah.
What I don't understand is...
It does count on a lot of things going right. It counts on Ant-Man
That's why there's
being in the quantum zone.
14,605 chances of them
Yeah,
going wrong.
I mean, one in that many makes sense. I still don't get why that Joker couldn't just, like, I mean, I understand that this would suck for Stephen Strange to live his life in this way, but, like, Thanos can do a butt ton of stuff with, like, 5 stones, but he needs all 6 to, like, really do it to him, right?
Correct.
So, and Doctor Strange got the 6th stone in, like, the little galaxy pocket dimension sort of thing that only he can get to, right? So what stops him from doing the thing where he makes a portal and just jumping through portals, going planet to planet for, like, weeks? And just, like, he stops, eats a sandwich, he's like, oh, that's Thanos' spaceship, better keep moving. Like,
Or
and
centuries.
And Thanos could chase him because Thanos has the space stone, and if he uses the time stone, then he like exposes it to Thanos' like grabbing abilities. But like, eventually, one of y'all's gonna get tired, and one of you's a wizard, and one of you isn't. I'm like,
Or he just bricks himself into, like, something that's just, like, unbreakable.
Or he just
Thanos has the space
no,
stone. So
he
you
just
can
puts
follow
himself in an alternate dimension and just refuses to get out, like he did with the Dormammu.
Oh, you right.
He's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Ah,
he
you're
just-
stuck here,
Wait,
Thanos.
why didn't he go to the mirror dimension?
Yeah, you stuck
He
here
did-
with me,
he-
Thanos.
He did it in Infinity War.
Yeah, but Thanos snapped himself out of it.
Yeah, he threw the mirror dimension at him, and he just shattered it.
Well, he tried to push Thanos in. What if he jumped in? Could Thanos get in? Could the space stone do that?
Also, follow-up point, why doesn't he just, like, oh crap, Thanos was about to get the stone. Yippity-dippity-doo. 3 weeks earlier, Thanos.
Zoop! Said, I'm going to counter that.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 3 weeks, Neil.
Well, I think, I mean,
Before.
as tight as the fight where Doctor Strange and the Guardians and not Captain America, and Iron Man were
Tony
fighting,
Stark.
fighting Thanos on Titan.
That joke was awesome.
So, is there a limit on the swirly knuckles that let you make portals? Is there a distance limit on that?
I
bad
know where
boy?
you're going with this,
so.
and he did it earlier in the movie. You can just cut Thanos' arm off with that.
Well, I mean, is there a limit on how far you can swirly knuckle too? Because he could have swirly knuckled to New York, been like, guys, I know that we defend Earth and all, but we're going to have to not defend it for 5 minutes so we can kill this man before he destroys the entire universe. And I think the majority of the wizard monks would be like, you know what, I'm down for that. I'm here for this. And like, Thanos, like, kind of got worked by Doctor Strange a little bit. Like, that was a pretty, like, back and forth
You
kind
think
of fight.
Wong's gonna be able to help him beat Doctor Strange?
Wong can only do so much, right?
No, but Doctor Strange distracts
But, like,
him while does the
But
portal
so here's
arm
the
thing.
That Endgame shows us that there's like at least 100 wizards. And so like, I don't think that Thanos can 1v1 100 wizards. There's simply too many counterspells.
Well,
and they'll
also,
get
he
him.
just, like, each one opens an individual portal on an individual segment of his body. And so he's just in 100 different worlds.
That's a good point. What if you open a portal? You can portal him. Open a portal below him to a portal above him. Just get him going. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
dude,
he's
the
out.
The audience
Oh!
watching this video
Did
is
the-
hating us right now.
did the Loki thing where he was like, I've been falling for
20 minutes,
For
for
30
30
minutes.
You see,
Yeah.
you do that,
Or
but then
even-
you throw another
even
portal
like,
in.
The
boom,
wizards
two halves.
who'd be like, you remember when the wizards be like throwing little like, they'd be like just throwing little bits of magic at each other, and it's like not that impressive. It's like firecracker kung fu.
Yeah.
If just 100 wizards were like in a phalanx throwing magic at him, like what's he gonna do? And
He
then
has the
he throws
gauntlet.
he throws like a power blast at him from the Infinity Gauntlet. They throw up a shield thing. They like, oh, we took that one. He like tries to teleport him through space. They knuckle wand back. He's like, throw the moon at them. They teleport away. They teleport back. Like, they're wizards.
So
Tony Stark sucks.
The people that died, did you expect them to have died, or were you
Yes.
thinking other people?
Those two, yeah.
There's what, 4 casualties? We have
Cap retired.
Cap,
Iron Man
Scar-
got
or,
it. And not Scarlet Witch.
not Scarlet
Scarlett
Witch.
Johansson.
Oh, and Vision.
Black Widow. And Vision stayed dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vision stayed dead, and then
I-
Loki stayed dead.
I didn't see Scarlet.
Loki not really dead though. Because the alternate dimension Loki got the space stone. He can do whatever the flip he wants now.
Yeah, we
But
don't know if he's technically like
They
on
didn't.
the ship.
They
when
didn't
crack his
change.
neck.
They didn't change the fact that he like still like was part of like Infinity War or whatever. Like and had the.
Well, he started a new timeline where he's free.
I think
That's the thing.
So I think
So he
Loki's.
split the timeline at that point. So there's another timeline, so another dimension where
Oh, yeah,
Loki's
that's
free
true.
and has an Infinity Stone, and then there's ours where he didn't get the stone, so he went to. All
But
the stuff
also
happened
they
and
went.
died.
The thing is though, is they went back in time before that, and they got this. They got
Yeah,
the.
and then
They got.
returned it
They
back
got.
to that
They got the
point.
cube.
So that's two different timelines.
No, he would have gone. When Captain America went
Look,
back to
time travel is
so
stupid.
when he
It
went back to
doesn't
go
matter.
return the cube, he would have gone back to 1970
The thing
to
that's
return
really
the cube. He
important
would not
is
have gone
that
back to.
they greenlit a Loki TV show, so he's definitely fine. Is
True.
what I'm saying.
He's just a
Very true.
dude.
Yeah.
Very true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
wrapping up.
Yeah.
Korg and Meek's TV show.
Korg and Meek.
Also,
What is
Captain
that?
Marvel.
Korg and Meek are the rock dude and the grub man.
Captain
Oh,
Marvel was
yeah.
one of the most disappointing things of
She
this
really
movie.
didn't do much.
I like the
Yo,
hair.
I'll say this.
The lesbian
Hey,
part?
Joker.
Okay.
Brie Larson did really
First
well
off,
with the short hair.
edit that out, Joel.
What?
The,
Oh, you do be liking short hair, huh? So,
well, also, it's
I'm
homophobic.
just gonna say Brie
That's not homophobic.
Brie Larson did real well with the
She
short
did a good job.
So
in the
here's the
movie.
thing, right?
Real well.
The short hair is fine. It's better than the long hair.
It
The
is.
long hair looked freaking stupid when she put on her helmet. She had a stupid like foot long
Yeah,
mohawk.
it did.
It was like, wow, you look like an idiot, and
That's
nobody, and you're like Superman, so nobody can look you in the eye and be like, you look stupid, because everybody's afraid to, because you got magic hands. But like,
Yeah.
my girlfriend saw it and she said Captain Marvel's lame, and I was like, wow, you didn't even like.
She really didn't
Anyway.
do anything.
Final,
use that much.
final ratings out of 10. What did you give it?
7.
7.
7 out of 10. So you,
8 or 9.
I say I give it a 8.5 to a 9. That was great.
I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it for a long time.
I think
I'll watch it once on Netflix, but it never
Yeah.
will be because Disney Plus.
I think I might go see it in theaters again just because I want to see it. Like make sure that I didn't miss anything.
I don't want to see it.
So-
I can miss things first.
Yeah, so that's the end of this video. We're gonna be doing a lot more videos, like playing Magic. I'm gonna destroy y'all with my cat
Giant
tank.
Yep.
Cats will win again. Yeah, that's it.
Love you guys.
Bye.